What's up, chums? Sharky here. So I'm just going to let you know right off the bat that this video is going to be a bit heavier than my normal videos. As y'all know, it's Pride Month. I've made a few Pride related videos in the past. I did a Pride pins unboxing video, and I think I might have discussed the topic with some of my friends in the past. But this year, I really wanted to make a self-reflection video to just kind of get my thoughts out. The people that I'm referring to in this video, I'm not going to use their names. I'm just going to keep it as vague as possible. They used to be very close friends of mine. I try to be very open and honest on this channel about who I am and how I was raised, and I'm very open about my Christian beliefs, and I try to just be as genuine and open as possible about that. I think for many people, growing up in a Christian household was difficult at times, especially when you don't exactly believe everything that you're told by your parents. I definitely think that my faith has changed over time, and that's not really what this video is about, but it is relevant to how I used to feel about the LGBTQIA plus community versus how I feel now based on my own life experiences. I was raised in a Christian household. We were never really allowed to talk about anything remotely sexual in nature, even if it was a joke or otherwise. My parents sheltered me a lot from that stuff. I didn't really have a grasp that people could be not straight. That did not really occur to me as a young child. But I know, I was a child, so, I didn't understand sexuality in general. But, back then, it was kind of just something that was depicted in movies as a joke, or, it was made fun of, not looked at as, these are real people. Just to give you some context for my frame of mind when I was growing up in the early 2000s. When I was about 7 to 9 years old, I had a childhood best friend that I was very close with. We went to the same church. We spent a lot of years together. We used to play together all the time. We would stay up late talking on the phone, because back then, we didn't have our own phones, right? So, we would call each other's landlines and then just stay up talking. We would go to each other's houses, all that stuff. We were very close. I would say probably about high school age, I ended up moving away to a different town, and we kind of drifted apart a little bit, but we still kept in touch a bit. Back then, DeviantArt was very popular, and we would also post art and talk on there because we were both artists and everything. And I remember this one day I read a post, a journal post on their page that was basically their coming out. To keep it as vague as possible, basically, this person that I knew had grown up female, had made a journal coming out as a trans man. At that time, I really did not know how to handle that. Not that it had anything to do with me, but I made it about me, which was selfish and irrational, and just, I honestly cringe thinking about it. But like I said before, I was way younger back then, and I didn't know how to handle my emotions properly either. And I ended up saying a bunch of things to this friend that for sure deeply hurt them. I think they had even said I was hoping that you would support me in this, being a friend of mine, and you didn't. I tried to make it about myself. I didn't even think about how my friend was feeling going through this period of transitioning, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the thought process, and it was something that I grappled with. And we did grow apart. We don't talk anymore. I don't blame this friend for not wanting to talk to me. I totally understand. I had another friend growing up in about like middle school age who I was very close friends with. We hung out a lot. He was one of my best friends. Like, we would talk all the time. We lived on the same street. We lived in the same town, went to the same school, everything. I had a huge crush on him, and we ended up moving away from that town. And I remember, like, calling him up one time, and I was like, hey, I know this is kind of random, but, like, I have a crush on you, and I was wondering if you, like, wanted to go out with me. He basically just said, like, I don't want to ruin our friendship, you know. Found out from a mutual friend of this friend, like, he came out as gay. And I didn't know that at the time. He had never told me about that or even hinted at that. And I, again, did not know how to emotionally handle this information. And again, I said a lot of things that I did not understand what I was saying. I didn't mean. They cut ties with me, but again, I understand like why you wouldn't want to talk to somebody after hearing that from them, even if you had been friends for such a long time. I have since apologized to those two prior friends of mine, and they have stated that they have forgiven me for the things that I said. Part of the reason like why I'm making this video is because I want to tell my channel, I want to tell people watching this that I don't feel the way that I used to about pride, about LGBTQIA plus communities. I really feel completely different. Like, even with my faith as a Christian, I still am very deeply hurt by how the community is treated by Christians, by other Christians other than myself. I don't read the news. I try not to watch the news ever, but I am aware of things going on right now. Words cannot describe like how hurt I am, because like I said before, since having those two experiences, even though I don't talk to those two friends anymore, they really like opened up my mind and my eyes to they are people just as much as I am and anyone else. And what I said to them was wrong, how I treated them was wrong, and how Christians and people in society are treating the community is wrong. Whether it's trans, gay, bi, whatever, this is wrong. I was wrong and this is wrong. And I wish I could fix it. I really do. I try to educate other Christians that I converse with as much as possible, because I know that there's a lot of there's misinformation and there's just a lack of understanding. I think there's a lack of understanding on both parts. But I understand where it comes from. I want anybody watching this who is LGBTQIA+, queer in any way, shape, or form, I want you to know that not all Christians hate you. Not all Christians, have this vendetta against you or are trying to vote against you or stop you in any way. I used to be that way, but I don't feel that anymore. I have no hatred for anyone except people who hurt other people to get what they want and have control over the narrative and the situation. Try to control people's lives. That is one thing that I strive myself not to do, is tell other people how to live. I can share my story. I can share my own personal experiences with God and my own experiences with, my faith, but I cannot tell someone else what they can and can't do with their bodies, with their, their partners, with anything, I don't even know you. I have no ground to stand on, and I wish other Christians felt that way as well, because words cannot describe how angry it makes me and how sad it makes me to read all of this stuff online about the trans community, about, the rest of the LGBT community. It's just so disheartening to see where we're at. I think everyone should be treated equally. I think everybody should be on the same playing field for absolute certain. Like, everyone, because we are all human, we're all people, and regardless of, if you think someone is sinning or not, to any Christians watching this video, it is not our job to judge other people. It is not our job to make sure someone else is saved. It is not our job to convert people. It is not our job to, make people feel like shit because they believe or live differently than us. That is not our job. It is our job to share the gospel in a friendly, kindness manner, not holding picket signs on a corner, not yelling at people, not having online fights with people. That's not how you approach non-believers when it comes to Christianity. That is wrong. All of this hatred and all of this outrage and everything, and calling people less than human, subhuman, that is not okay. And it pisses me off to no end. And I've talked about this with some of my other friends, which brings me to my next point. Since I joined the furry community in 2017, even though I am not as involved as I used to be in the community, like going to cons, etc., I have so many friends now that are in the LGBTQIA plus community. Like, so many, that almost all my friends are either gay, bi, ace, like everything. It's taught me a lot of things about myself and about other people. A kindness and acceptance of people and just love. I think the biggest thing to take away from all of this is, no matter if you agree or disagree with somebody, you have to show love. Because, like, without love, we can't live without love. And right now, there's more hate than love, and it's heartbreaking, honestly. But I just want people to know that you can approach me. I'm a safe person. I'm not gonna out you. I'm not gonna hurt you in any way. I've learned a lot from my experiences, and I actually look forward to Pride Month every year now. Because, as I said, it taught me, having these experiences and talking to people in this community has taught me about myself, even to the point where, like, I kind of discovered that I am on the ace spectrum myself because of, like, growing up, I was different about sexuality and attraction than my peers, and I always wondered, like, why? Like, is it just because of my sheltered Christian upbringing, or, like, is it something else? I just have so much love for y'all. Like, I don't know how else to express that. I am sincerely sorry. I was wrong, and I think a lot of Christians are wrong in the way that they're approaching, whether it's like human rights or political. And you gotta know about me, like, I do not like politics. I don't like division among people. I think God's greatest example of love is when people come together, and accomplish things that are good. I think that's always a positive thing. But there's just so much division right now, and just know, like, even if you don't believe in Jesus or you don't believe in God, like, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for, the climate, the political climate in this country right now, and just this outpouring of hate and outrage towards people who don't deserve it. They're just trying to live. They're just trying to be human. And if you're a Christian and you're watching this and you totally disagree with me, I don't care. I mean, because ultimately, that's between them and God. That has nothing to do with you. That's what I say. Like, I leave it up to God. I don't have any hate towards anybody. Like, I give that stuff to God, because ultimately it's not my job to worry about, who you're married to, who you're dating, how many children you have. That ain't none of my business. Like, I hope this makes sense. I hope this video makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place here at the end, but I really wanted to make this video just to show love and just to, like, for Pride Month, because it's very relevant right now. It's a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time, and I really appreciate, like, all of the support that I receive from so many people. Like, you guys don't even know. I read every single comment on my channel, and a lot of people, like, just to end this video. So I have so many people that watch this channel that take something away from what I'm saying. And that means so much to me, because I felt like when I was growing up, I was bullied a ton. Like, I felt like nobody ever listened to me. I was even, like, thinking about unaliving at one time. But it's like, now, like, with this platform and with so many people that actually take things away and share their experiences, and they tell me, like, I have the same experience, like, that's huge to me. Like, that means so much to me. And I hope that, somebody takes something away from this video, even, where it's like, love is greater than anything on this planet. Like, you can accomplish anything with love, because love is God. God is love. And people need to focus more on that, and not, opinions and driving people away. So, that's all I gotta say about that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.